Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Grandmaster Chess episode 7. Sopiko's Immortal. What a wonderful session this is going to be. Welcome to all of you here, especially Sopiko. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting. That's an honor.
Well, it's amazing to have you. You know, Sopiko, we have been watching so many of your videos, especially me. And you have done such great work online. But recently, you haven't been so active on chess streaming, and also so happy to see you. Where have you been?
Oof, at home. Full-time mom, full-time housewife, but I'm also working on chess a bit. I was working on video series, some stream I had once on Anish's YouTube channel, so I'm not that lost.
Which is the most popular stream on his channel still? Yes. I like to keep saying that always, and I also tell it to Anish. That's the most popular stream.
I'm proud of that.
So I'll introduce you to your students for today. Biswa Kalyan Rath, who is not Chess Base India
Nice to
today.
meet you.
Anirban Das Gupta here, who is I don't know what name he has kept.
It's just
It
Anirban.
is Anirban only. And Sopiko, you have to be flattered because Vaibhav Sethia, who usually comes 10 minutes late at the very least, is today just 3 minutes late.
Whoa!
It's an improvement. Yeah.
Yesterday
Nice to
for
meet you all.
yesterday for Boris, he was 18 minutes late, but today he is.
Vaibhav looking cute. I stole Biswa's dialogue, but guys, let me introduce today's guest. So Sopiko is an international master. She is also a WGM, a woman grandmaster, and she is very strong player. In fact, Sopiko, I was reading through some of your Wikipedia page as well, and every match that you have played against, be it in Indonesia against Medina or against Anna Maya Kazar, you have won so many matches. I mean, it seems like matches is something that you enjoy playing, yeah?
I do. I also loved the knockout system of Women World Championship because there are matches. And I love the fact that you can prepare and surprise your opponent, etc. You know, I have a bit of help from somebody, you know. So I really feel good during matches rather than Swiss tournaments.
So you are well prepared, yeah, for those matches. In fact, today's game is from a match that Sopiko played in 2017 Women's World Championship, and it was in Iran.
Yeah.
And she was playing against number 1 Iranian women player, Sara. Can you tell us a bit about the match, Sopiko?
Yeah, it was very nice. It had a lot of attention, of course, because Sara Sadat is Iranian. It was played in Iran. It was 3 months after I gave birth to Daniel, and then I had to go and to play the tournament.
Months?
Yeah, in
He
3
was
months.
just 3 months old.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I left him at Anish's parents, and people were like, "Oh my God, how are you doing? How's baby?" I'm like, "I'm going to sleep." Everybody was making fun of me because I played pretty okay there, and they were like, "Oh, that's because you're sleeping. You don't care about anything, but that's because you're sleeping."
But
Yeah.
Sara was one of the top players in the tournament, yes?
Yeah, she definitely was. She's very strong. She's very famous, and I was very happy to manage that. I beat her, and of course, with the help of my husband, we prepared new openings for the tournament.
Wow.
And the opening that was played, Nimzo Indian with F3, I never played it before.
Okay.
And she was very, very surprised. And that's already, I think, that the psychological fight is won when you surprise your opponent, and she goes into deep thought, and then already you feel good. But I think it was very, very nice game, and let's see how it goes with our students.
Yeah, let's begin. And we have Adiban in the chat. Adiban says Miss Tactics OP. So I should tell you. I should tell you guys. Sopiko did a lot of shows on Chess 24, and she was called Miss Tactics. And there was Anna Rudolph, who was called Miss Strategy. So they both would do shows together, and she would say all the positional moves, and Sopiko was like, why are you so afraid of attacking? Let's go. Let's sack something. Let's go ahead. So you know what sort of a player she is.
Yeah, I do love tactics, though. This game probably is the opposite one. I mean, it is pretty sharp, but it's also there are some strategic aspects in the game. So I think that's why I like it, because it's not completely in my style.
Sure. So that would be very interesting to see. And also, I'm going to have some questions for all of them here, which are a little bit apart from the game, just so that whether their memory is good or not, I want to check. Okay, first let me get Sopiko here, because the teachers section is here and the students are up there. All set.
Surprising someone in the opening must be fun. Like, if I'm just imagining if you play like in the third or fourth move and your opponent goes, I think this must be like, this is it. This is like, oh, nice. Must feel good.
Yeah, when they don't expect it. It's not that they are not familiar with the opening, but they don't expect it from you, and then they are like, oh, that's already a good point.
Okay, so all set. By the way, Sopiko, how is Anish's preparation for the candidates going?
Yeah, he just, I see him in the morning, and at night just, hi, how are you? Bye, good night.
So he's working very hard, yeah, right now.
Yeah.
we can feel that. He's nowhere close to any streams, nowhere in the chat, nowhere. It's
always on Instagram, though.
Okay, guys, so today Sopiko has to pick up Danny in 1 hour 5 minutes, so we have to finish the game in that time. So that according to that we will keep the timers, and let me just start the timers here, and yes, this is good.
Can you give -1 to Vaibhav for coming late?
Biswa is very keen on giving -1 to Vaibhav. But Vaibhav, you are usually late or you are on time?
I'm always like 15 minutes late everywhere.
Okay. So
like I'm either 15 minutes early or 15 minutes. Like, I was ready for the stream 18 minutes before the stream, and then I started doing something and I lost track of time.
Okay. So Sopiko can decide it at the end whether Vaibhav should get -1 or not. We will decide it if he's leading. By the way, Sopiko, just to tell you how things stand in this contest.
Yeah.
So just coming here, there's this. Yeah. These are the standings right now. All 4 of them are here. And Vaibhav is leading with 36 points. Biswa is on 31.5. Anirban on 18. And Samay is on 12.5. By the way, Samay is not going to be here mostly because he is planning to go to Goa, but not sure whether he will go or not.
Oh, so. Wow. It's amazing.
You've been there, right, to Goa?
No, I have not, but I always wanted to go. Maybe next time.
Yeah. You've been to Chennai. I know that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it some other day. I know it was a memorable trip for you.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Okay, so Sopiko is white, guys. she opens the game with one d4. Sopiko, are you always playing one d4?
Usually, yeah, but like last years, I also started to play e4. I get bored with the openings very very easily.
You like to play new stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
So here's one question to you guys. In the Grandmaster Chess series, which game had this opening? Do you remember?
Yep, with it.
Yes, yes. We saw a game of Vidit versus Kramnik. This was the first episode, and it had the same opening.
Oh, nice.
F3 system in the Nimzo Indian. And do you remember what Kramnik played here?
No.
I think. Hold on. I think I can remember.
I think Anirban, you were not there in that session.
I can't remember.
I can't remember, but I would play d5.
Yes, it is right. D5 was what was played. And Sopiko, your opponent, I think at this point went into deep thought, yeah, after F3.
Yeah.
I think your...
She took a bit of time.
Yeah.
She took a bit of time, and then she played the move c5.
Ah, okay. C5. So guys, here's the first question already for you. Today we are right into it. So first point, what should white play here? Black has just played c5, and all the people in the chat, please think what is the move that white should play for point number 1. So Sopiko, was this round number 1?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the very first game, and I managed to win this one, but it was very funny match for me because I was winning the first games, then I was losing the second one, so I had like tie breaks in all matches.
Oh, so in this also you won the first game, then you lost the second one,
Yeah.
and then there was a
lost
tie break.
Then there was tie break, and then I again played F3 Nimso Indian in the first games. I won that one, and then draw, and then I
You won
qualified.
it. By the way, Sopiko was rated 2370 and her opponent was 2452. So that's she was very strong. And by the way, guys, for this one, I'm going to give you only 2 minutes. Because this is not a very tough question. By the way, Sopiko, at that point, you just become a mother, and did it sort of affect you in your playing style, or how was it? Because it's very difficult, right? That entire phase, you don't really pay attention to yourself. All your energy is going into the kid.
Yeah, well, it did, though, of course, like having some sleep helped me a lot because, for 3 months you have like completely different schedule. But I think for me, it's very important to feel well prepared. And once I feel like well prepared, then I just feel confident. So I think that was very important. It helped me.
Did you travel alone to this event?
Yeah.
You went alone.
Yeah.
And did you miss Danny while playing? Because, you must be there almost a week or more.
Yeah. I did. Especially when I left, I was like, "Oh, I'll come back very
in 2 days."
Very soon. Yeah.
And then you started playing well.
Then it continued, and I was writing in the chats like, "Okay, next day. Okay, next day," and I'm like, "Okay, for sure." Then I lost against Harika in tie breaks. And I was like, okay, this is the day I'm going home.
Yeah, I remember. And then Harika played well and she reached all the way to the semi-finals.
Yes.
And won. So guys, last 18 seconds, please write down your move. What would you play here?
This is pretty standard. It's not not something unusual.
Okay. There we go. So let's begin with Vaibhav. Vaibhav, what's your move?
D5.
Vaibhav says D5 here. Biswa?
E4.
E4. Okay. Anirban?
A3.
A3. Okay, interesting. Sopiko, let's see what are your thoughts. E4? What do you
I
say?
think all moves make sense. E4 is, that's why we played F3 to support E4, but then it is also possible to play this, but that was not my plan, because after taking on D4, we go into a different structure and different position. But it's of course like Queen D4, and Black has a tempo with Knight C6, which then we lose a bit of tempos in the opening, so it might not be super precise.
Yeah. I guess it's not the best idea to let Black develop with the tempo and then move the queen again. So you lose time on that. A3?
A3 is of course possible. It is very nice move because we want to know where the bishop goes, like takes on C3 or goes away. But not in all cases A3 is necessary. So if, let's say, we include A3, bishop A5 in some positions, it might be okay for Black to go to H2, B8 diagonal right away. And we don't want that, although it is possible to take here on C5, but then after bishop takes C3, B takes C3, we have tripled pawns, and that's not good.
Yeah.
So A3 is a possibility, but I think D5 is most precise.
Brilliant. So Vaibhav gets a full point here with D5. What about A3 and E4? Should we give half a point for that?
Yes.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
see.
For E4 also?
I cannot not give points, you know.
So Sopiko is not a strict teacher. I can sense it. She's lenient.
Yeah, I think we need to motivate so that they feel better, and then it goes better.
And when the key moment of the game comes, they are in good spirits. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I want to just like put it out there. You can give me 1.5 points. Also. That's also. I'm just saying.
All right, I'll take it into consideration.
So castles by Black. Sopiko gained space with D5. E4. She played D6. And now the knight came to E2. As you can see, White has more space, but Black is ahead in development because White has made so many moves with her pawns. Bishop A5. Knight went to G3. A6.
This is very standard. Knight E2, knight G3, because the knight on G1 is stuck. We have to somehow develop it. Knight H3 would not make sense because of E takes D5, and then the knight is under attack. So it's a pretty standard maneuver to play knight E2, knight G3, and then develop the bishop.
Yeah. So knight has to go to E2, and from there it goes to G3, and then A6. And this is all your preparation still, Sopiko? Bishop F4?
Bishop A5, I was surprised a bit, but
when she moved it.
Yeah, because you know, like when you're playing new opening, you want to try to cover everything, and you do analyze everything, but you don't remember everything. I'm very famous in mixing up the lines, like on move 4, 5. But for me, it's most important just to know the ideas.
Okay.
So Bishop A5 was a bit of surprise here for me, but A6 is also very standard because the position resembles a bit to Benoni type of positions where Black should start the play on the queen side with A6 and B5, but the big difference is that Bishop is on A5 and not on G7.
Okay. Usually, guys, if we quickly see Benoni opening, it goes d5 e6, knight c3 takes, d6 e4 g6, and then bishop goes here and castles, and you can see the pawn structure is black has pawns on c5 d6, white has pawns on d5 e4, and that's how it goes. So if you come to the game as well, here both sides have a similar structure, but instead of the bishop here, the bishop is on a5. Does that favor white or black?
I think it favors mostly white because the bishop on g7 is much better. It's like the soul of Benoni. But bishop on a5 and then c7, it also has some point because the idea of white is to play in the center with, let's say, f4, e5, and bishop on c7 stops it. But I do think that bishop on g7 is better.
If I'm not mistaken, guys, sometimes this entire maneuver is known as some kind of snake Benoni because the bishop is like a snake. Yeah, it goes, it's moving around. So here we come to the next question. Sopiko played bishop to f4. Sopiko, you were okay with black closing down the position with e5, it seems.
Yeah, because then the bishop is completely out, and e5 I can go bishop g5. Provoke another h6, and then I can either go back or even try to take the knight on f6 with knight h5, and then it might be completely it might not be completely correct, but when I see knight h5, g4, h4, I'm already excited. So
oh, you mean here take and sort of go this way, yeah?
Yeah, this way queen h4 is there. I have to go back, but just the ideas that you can just
attack.
play.
True.
Yeah.
But black took here, and guys, here's the time for the second question. This is more like you guys should know what is the best way to play in these openings. So white to play for the second point. What do you play here? Do you take with your e pawn? Do you take with the c pawn? Do you take with the knight? Do you take with the queen?
You can't take with the knight.
Knight is
Array, good. I was just waiting how long it takes you guys. So you very alert. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes for this because it's not a tough one. It's just about the feel. Like you should know these things. And by the way, Sopiko, we have some messages from the viewers. Let me read them. Yesterday I missed a few. Mayur Gondalekar says, captures today, please. Oh yes, yesterday, Sopiko, what happened was Agad Matterino, which is a page which is dedicated to Agad Matter. He sent that Boris should say captures, but I missed that. And so today he sent, if this super chat works, I go into overdraft, but that is the price that must be paid for captures. So can you say captures? Captures.
It's exactly the position which piece should capture d5 pawn. So capture.
Yeah, at the right time. Captures. Udhav Raj, yes, today we took. By the way, Darshan Sangvi says, Daniel definitely looks like his mom. But who is he most scared of, dad or mom? Also, can we expect Sophie to open a YouTube channel soon?
Well, that's thank you for a compliment because Daniel doesn't look like me at all. He's like copy of Anish. If you know Anish's childhood, he's like completely copy of him. But I don't think he's scared of anybody because we're, pretty calm people and we don't really shout or anything. So he understands things. It's possible to explain him something. So if he does something, we explain him and he understands, and we are very lucky with that.
Nice. That's nice to know. So Sopiko is not strict, and as we can see even today, she is going to be very... Let's see if every one of you can get a point here. So time to go. Let's start with Anirban. Anirban, what's your move?
C to D5.
Okay, CD5 is what Anirban wants to take. Biswa?
Yeah, C takes D5.
And Vaibhav?
ED5.
Okay. So, Sopiko, can you say which move would you prefer and why?
So we should not give half a point for not saying queen takes d5, yeah? Okay, that's already good. Well, so two main options here is to take either c takes d5 or e takes d5.
Yeah.
I played here c takes d5 because it is much better to have the e file closed, and because black already played a6, if we take e takes d5, then his play is to just play on the queen side and have counterattack on the queen side with b5. And then our c pawn will be bothered, which means that d5 pawn will be weak as well. So if we take c takes d5, we already avoid any kind of b5s. And black can, of course, play b5 easily, but then these pawns don't go anywhere, because if b4, then c4 square is weak, and if c4, d4 square is for whites, in white's favor.
I think this is exactly the reason why Vaibhav took CD5 to stop ED5, because I think Vaibhav, you wanted to stop B5, right, for black? Or
No, actually, I thought if b5 is played, bishop, like, we let it capture the c pawn, and then the bishop comes over there. What I was trying for is the bishop just remains on a5 completely immobile. I just wanted to keep it locked in. I thought that was something which I was trying to.
But I believe that CD5 is definitely very strong here, because it keeps your central pawns. Also, after ED5, rook E8 check might be slightly uncomfortable.
I think after here, bishop goes to e2 and helps actually, like, the king to.
Yes.
So I thought, like, maybe that's actually not a waste of a move.
True.
Maybe the bishop just comes to a2.
True. I'll leave it up to Sopiko to decide whether this gets half a point or not. E takes d5.
I think it should, because there was no suggestion of queen d5, so e d5 or c takes d5.
But there's a problem. If bishop takes knight on c3, then pawns get doubled now. That was
yeah.
And then that is permanent weakness.
That we allow it all the time, kind of. It's also it's a nice thing to mention that after e takes d5, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, doubles our pawns, but that actually might also help white, because double pawns are also always not very bad, because then we open b file, and then black's b pawn play is not there. Like b5 won't be anymore a good thing, and a6 is already on the board, so b6 will be weakness. So black has always to keep an eye on b7 pawn. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's a nice way to think that after c takes d5, our pawns are not doubled.
Right. Also, I think double bishops here can be very useful for white. So Sopiko takes CD5, so Vaibhav gets half, Biswa and Anirban get full points. B5, Sara plays on the queen side, she expands bishop e2, knight went back to e8. I think she's angling for f5, right? In such a position?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, it was a bit surprising for me to see knight e8, because then it did not really make sense to play b5. If you want to, like, either you have to play on the queen side or in the center or king side, but she combined everything. But I don't think that she has time for this, as I am stronger on king side, because I have bishop on f4, knight on g3, and then I have good central pawns.
Yeah, and also I think one more thing, she wants to defend d6 so that she can get her knight out, yeah?
That's also correct.
That may be the reason. But Sara's opening play has been suspect. And now it's time for you guys to come up with the third point here. So 3 minutes here. What would you play here? Let's go.
Yeah.
By the way, Teja RVS says Sopiko already has a channel with one video of highlights of their marriage. Is that true?
Yeah, I do have a channel. That's true.
So nothing can be hidden from the chat. Yeah, they know everything. They.
It is true. Why I uploaded that, it was because we had a clip from the video guys who were at our wedding, who were taking the video, but I did not like the music they put on the video. So I wanted to change the music, and I changed the music and I uploaded on my channel.
Really?
Yeah.
And I know that your father-in-law also, Sanjay Giri, has one marriage clip with an Indian song to it,
Yeah.
which is which I have seen several times because the song is also very nice. And I will ask the mods, if you know that link, you can spam it here. People can see it. One of the most beautiful videos that you will
It's a
see.
very beautiful song. The song was very nice.
Do you remember the song?
I don't know the name, but I do remember that it was very nice to listen to.
Yeah. Maybe the chat will tell us. So here, guys, this is for the third point.
A hint here, because it might be a bit difficult.
Yes.
It's a prophylactic move. There are a lot of moves here, actually. That makes sense. So no worries, you will all get points.
Unless, of course, they make a mistake, yeah?
Yes, true.
Yeah, there's this link. Sopiko's channel is also there, guys. The 224 people. Would you ever be active on that channel, Sopiko, in the future?
I don't think so, because I don't even remember the password or how to enter.
Okay. Cool. So guys, 20 seconds left. Calisthenics Wade says, Sagar, a suggestion. Have you considered organizing Indian version of Pog Champs with famous Indian streamers? Public ko bahut maza aayega. Yeah, I guess there are so many now playing chess, so that's a good idea. But time for the answers, guys. Biswa, what's your move?
A3.
A3, okay. Vaibhav?
King H1.
King H1. Anirban?
Yeah, I also wrote down A3, but then I found that it's not A3.
Okay. Why?
Because I was thinking A3 is required because B4 is coming. But not really, like the knight is not pinned now. So
yeah, you can move it. Move the knight. And as Sopiko said, B4, the C4 square gets weak. So could be okay. So what's your move, But
I don't have any other move, so let's go with A3.
Okay, so Sopiko, A3, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's not really necessary, because we want actually black to play b4, because then c4 square is very weak, and once we get our knight to c4, then we push on d6 pawn, and then we also have support to play e5 at some point. So we want to provoke b4. A good move would be to push one square farther and play a4.
If someone would have said this, that would have been amazing. Yeah, a4. Because it provokes b4. Then you go here and then like this, yes?
Yes. Of course, black is not obliged to go b5. He can play rook b8 or b takes a4, but then he should also consider giving up the b5 pawn. So a4 would be a very, very interesting move in this position to provoke b4. However, what I played was king h1.
Man.
Wow.
Vaibhav is rocking it today. King H. Vaibhav, how did you find it?
So I think right now all my pieces are kind of like, I don't know where to go with the white pieces. So I want to play bishop to like d3 so that my knight can come to e2. I wanted to do that. but it's not there. So, but I knew that the moment bishop goes there, it comes with the tempo that c4 is pushed, and then it allows a check. So I was like, first I avoid the check, so that doesn't come with the tempo, and that's when I do that. So that when c4 is played, I can push the bishop to c2 again.
Amazing.
Very nice thinking. Very nice thinking. Also, the king on h1 is, as you mentioned, safe on h1, and there is no check. It also frees up the g1 square. So if we want to start any kind of attack with, let's say, knight h5, g4, then rook g1 can come in one move.
Nice.
I'll tell you how Vaibhav found that move. He used to think prophylaxis means this move.
Yeah.
That is the first thing I wanted to say. That prophylaxis means move the king to h1 or like a1.
He thought like a knight outpost. Prophylaxis means king to h1. That's what he thought the word meant.
Yeah,
Achha.
and then I was like, this makes sense over here. So, yeah.
But you know, guys, you did prophylaxis of a move which was not dangerous with a3. So actually, it's what white wants.
Out of 3 answers, 2 of them are a3. I think we need to do something about that pawn.
So, Sopiko, would you give them half a point for a3? Please say no.
I would love to, but unfortunately, we really want black to play b4. So in this case, I really cannot.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. That means Sopiko is objective about points. She's not just giving it away. Rook b8, queen to c1 was played, and I think it is. I'm not going to reveal much about the move, but okay, it kind of forms a battery. And because the next move is here, what you need to think, guys, white to play for the 4th point, what would you do here? And this time, I'm going to give you, again, 3 minutes on the clock. This one is very, very interesting. Sopiko, is there any hint for them for this move?
Yeah, I would first of all remind myself that this point I was very proud, because when I start some kind of action, because I'm like very impulsive, I'm like, oh, I see the attack, let's go, knight h5, g4, and let's start something. But then Anish sees the game and he's like, first develop all your pieces, then start the action.
Does Anish's voice come while you're playing? Like when you're going to play knight h5, it's like, Sopiko, develop all your pieces. Does that play in your head?
Yeah, it was like, okay, maybe the first time and last time I should listen to my husband. And the hint here would be that it might look optically very nice to already start some kind of action, but queen c1 also like supports bishop on f4 and is nice on the diagonal. But most important thing of queen c1 is it frees up an important square for regrouping.
Okay, that's a huge hint, but I'm sure there is something going wrong there as well, because it's not an easy one. Good hint by Sopiko. So what should white play? And as Anish would say, before launching an attack, get all your pieces into the play, or as Jakob Agard says in his book, get all the toys to the nursery. And let's see how.
So if anybody thinks of knight h5 now, he will get -1 point.
I think from all three of them, Anirban and Vaibhav, like Anirban is the most aggressive. He loves to attack. Biswa is the most positional, and Vaibhav is sort of in between. Like he likes to attack, he likes to play. So they all have differing styles of play.
Very nice. Let's see if they guess.
The problem is once you see a move, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
If it's like 2 minutes, then you only want to say that move. You have decided.
What? Knight h5?
No.
yeah.
I could see when Sopiko said knight h5 g4, Vaibhav was like, yeah, this is just me. This is what I would.
100%.
Okay, guys, time is up. Please, let's begin with Vaibhav this time. Vaibhav, what's your move?
Knight d1.
Knight to d1 is what Vaibhav says, moving backwards. What about Anirban?
Knight d1.
Knight d1 and Biswa?
Knight d1.
Oh man! Wow, Sopiko, your hint was so powerful. All three of them got it. Fantastic, guys.
Awesome. So where is this knight heading now?
f5. Knight heading to f5.
Oh, okay. We are in for some surprises there.
Yes.
Okay, it's not heading to f5. Okay.
That was my initial idea also. Like, I have to go, but then I was like, oh, change of plans.
Yeah. Because opponent played knight to g6 here, attacking Sopiko's bishop. And she went back to e3, and now this knight and bishop do fight for the same square. But that's life, yeah? You have to change plans sometimes. Queen c7 was played. And now
Knight d1 is, let's add something, because knight d1 is also very nice. I know that I was saying that b4 is not good for black, but at some point, if black manages to play f5 and then b4, it might not be good for us. We need to support the e4 pawn, and we need to support our center. So knight d1 goes away from b4 attack. It was heading to e3, but change of plans. Now the bishop is there, but it also can go to f2, because if we play knight f2 and then knight h5, g4 or f4, the knight is nicely supporting. So we bring all the pieces to the king side now.
And also, guys, just notice how Sopiko did not go back and exchange these bishops, because she considers the bishop on a5 to be misplaced, and there's no point in exchanging those bishops, basically. Keeping them on the board is much better. So queen c7, and now she's in her element. She pushes her pawn forward.
Yeah.
Black goes f5, which is to stop it over there. And now she takes it with the knight. So it's a pawn. She's won. Bishop takes and pawn takes. And Sopiko, here your opponent could have taken with the rook, but she did not. Why?
Well, first of all, there are, if you think like rook f5, first move that comes to mind is g4 for me, or bishop g4.
Yeah, aggressive move. Yeah, I think bishop g4 maybe, or g4. And also bishop g4 has the point that if you take, there's a check, right?
Yeah, and g4 also, because if rook d5, then bishop f3, and this
it traps it, yeah.
Rook d3, but it should be very good for I don't know, queen c2 or bishop e4, so it should be trapped. But bishop g4 is of course more like optically nice, because bishop g4 comes to e6 afterwards, and after rook f5, bishop g4, bishop e6. If you think for first time, you don't want to allow this. Like bishop on e6 looks very scary, but it maybe was better than what was played in the game.
She went knight to e7, and Sara thought she's attacking d5, she's attacking f5. So now is time for your fifth point, guys. This is where you think, and you get 3 minutes now. It's white to play. What do you do here?
Yeah.
Sopiko's hints are just amazing, so I would ask her to give one more, because when she gives hints.
So now the question is, like, which pawn is important to keep? Because we are obliged to give one pawn. We cannot defend both of them, nor f5 nor d5. But which one? And pay attention that we have two bishops. So if we give one of the pawns, light squared bishop would be alive again.
Wow, this Sopiko, do you actually teach somewhere chess? Like
No.
no, because your hints are very very insightful and very interesting, and they're very nice. The only thing is they might find the answers here much easier. But yeah, this one is a tricky thing. Should we keep the f5 pawn or the d5 pawn?
Yeah.
Everyone in the chat says such a cute video. They all went and watched the wedding video, yeah, instead of
So now it will boost the views.
Tum Hi Ho song is the one that was there.
Oh yeah.
The Hindi one, yeah.
Daniel always likes to see himself in the video. So once I showed him the video and he's like, where am I? Where am I? I'm like, you're not there yet. Like, but where am I? Where am I?
Well, couple of years.
Where am I?
Oh, Ankit Raj says, ask Bam one thing which you love and hate about Anish. Oh, one thing same, yeah? You have to love as well as hate. That's not easy to know.
Love and hate, same time.
Sometimes you love that thing, sometimes you hate that thing. Maybe it's Anish's positional chess.
No, I know, beard.
Beard.
His beard. Beard.
Oh, beard, yes. Sometimes you like it very much, sometimes not.
Exactly.
Nice answer.
Yeah, if it grows too much, then it just looks scary.
Yeah, but that French beard is a lot of people liked it, yeah, when it was growing. A lot of fans liking it. Okay, guys, last few seconds. I think Vaibhav is already ready with his move. So we'll begin with him. Vaibhav, what would you play here?
Bishop d3.
Bishop d3, okay. Biswa?
Sorry, guys. I can't see beyond f6. I'm very sorry.
f6, okay. Anirban?
Bishop f3.
Okay. So, Sopiko, what about these moves? Bishop d3?
Different approaches. I like that already. Different approaches. But if we are very honest, the thing is that Bishop d3 does not really defend the f5 pawn, right? So black can anyway take the pawn on f5 or pawn on d5. And if now black takes the pawn on f5, and if we give up our light squared bishop, then we are left with nothing, just the weakness on d5. And black has perfect position now because our pawn on d5 is very weak. Knight comes on f6. We don't have any more two bishops. So this doesn't work for white. Move
Bishop
f6. Yep.
f6. Yeah, first f6 was also f6 was suggested by Biswa.
Yeah, that also only helps black because then knight comes to f6 with tempo, and then we are unable to protect the d5 pawn. So now it's better that we kept the light squared bishop, but we are giving black too much freedom, and black pieces, as you can see now, black pieces on e8 and e7, they are a bit tied up. And once knight f6, knight d5 comes out, then rook can come from b8 to e8, and black's position is just perfect. We have weaknesses because of f4 pawn, because pawns can't go backwards, and it's better in the endgame to have pawns on the second rank than very much further. And bishop f3 is possibility. It just chooses to defend the d5 pawn, but gives up f5 pawn with tempo. So now after f5, knight can either take on e3 afterwards, which will make our f4 pawn very weak. And if we move the bishop, it's possible to play. There is nothing very bad about it, but definitely white lost the grab on the position. So I would give half point to bishop f3.
Okay.
But the other ones, no.
Gets half a point. Okay. Cool. By the way, the move that Sopiko made is very, very typical of her style, but also I think is very nice in this game. She played the move G4, and she actually supported this pawn mass and gave up this pawn on D5.
Yeah, it might be scary to look at white king because black takes the d5 pawn and opens up the h1 a8 diagonal. But the thing is that we have light squared bishop. It is very common in, let's say, King's Indian when you have bishop on g7 and there is attack going on h file, but there is only one check, like on h7 if the thing is doubled. So the bishop, light squared bishop, completely defends our king, so we have no danger on it, and we just attack it. We just attack and use the light squares.
Okay, fantastic. So G4, her opponent took here, and now Sopiko played a very nice move, which is not the question for points. It's just bishop f3, and I think this shows your flexibility here in this game because you are ready to give up this bishop so that your knight can or bishop can get to this beautiful d5 square.
Exactly, and now it would be very difficult for black to do something about d5 square because knight f6 might also come under g5 if I want to put my knight on d5, or even if we go into opposite colored bishop position, then imagine if I have my bishop on e6 and then g5, queen can come to e3, queen h3, and queen h5, rook f3.
1 second. I have to. So just guys, just for the sake of understanding, if it's an opposite colored bishop here, then after something like this, yes. So because this bishop is
bishop on e6, also maybe like to protect the f5 pawn.
And then
it looks
the queen.
Definitely scary.
So when there are opposite colored bishops on the board, the side which is attacking has the advantage because you see this bishop can never exchange itself with this one, and white has the initiative in his hands.
Yeah, that's another option. Also, we have an option of g5, of course, and then playing knight d5.
Yes. So in the game, Sara was like, I won't take your bishop and help you. So I'll go queen f7, defending my knight. And guys, time for the 6th point now. What would you play here?
Yeah.
Okay, 3 minutes.
Hint needed?
Yes, your hints. Actually, your hints sometimes do confuse them, like prophylactic. They played a3. So let me see. What is the hint this time? Yes, very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here it will be very difficult to make a good hint because it is indeed different type of approach of the position.
You know, Sopiko, I can tell you one thing. One hint is that all the moves that Sopiko is making, I would not have made. Like she is very flexible in the sense of her thinking. Like she's okay to give up her bishop sometimes. Sometimes she's saving it. It also shows that she's very flexible as a player. Like she doesn't have this rigid thinking that okay, bishops are much superior than the knight. She's always ready to look at every position with fresh eyes, if I may say so. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, the hint would be that if we look at black's position, black's pieces are not coordinated. So you can see that the rook on b8 is not doing much. Bishop on a5 is fine controlling the e1 square for now, but doesn't do much as well. Knight on e8 just comes on, disturbs black, because if knight was somewhere else, then black would play rook b e8 and so on. So now we have to be fast. If we lose time and play something sort of normal, which has no idea, then black might be able to play knight ec7, rook b e8, and coordinate. So the thing here is not to allow black good coordination. We already know that we don't really care about the bishop on e3 as it gives up the d5 pawn. Now it's time to bring our pieces into the game.
Good one. Okay, this is very interesting because now it's turning into some sort of a race because Sopiko has already weakened her king a bit with g4. So black can go knight c7 and rook e8 and try to coordinate the pieces. So you have to be quick. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be quick and you have to imagine where would you have your pieces. Like if you close your eyes and imagine, maybe I can take one of my piece off the board and put it somewhere where it would be.
Nice. And I can give a small hint. Think about
Start with me this time.
Think about
your knight.
Sorry. Arey yaar.
Think about your knight.
Yes.
Okay, maybe 30 seconds extra, guys. 30 seconds extra. Think about your knight on d1, which is a little bit sad right now because it had great aims in life to go to f5, but right now those aims have been squandered a bit.
I am very ready with my stupid move.
I can guess Biswa's move. 1 second. Not easy, yeah, Biswa. Because what would you think? See, f6 is not something you will think here.
Sorry, I got disconnected for 1 second, but I'm back.
a4 maybe Biswa's move.
Crazy.
Yes?
No.
Okay, what's your move, Biswa?
My move is bishop takes on c5.
What? Bishop takes on c5. Sopiko, this is even more aggressive than what you thought. What you would play.
I will tell you what you missed. Not only d takes c5, but you missed rook c8. Pin.
What is rook c8?
And then black takes the bishop on c5 without giving the c5 pawn. Not even saying that after bishop takes c5, d takes c5, queen takes c5, knight e c7 is completely good for black.
Okay.
Biswa went crazy. I couldn't think bishop into c5.
No,
Okay.
I thought when she said we don't care about the bishop, I was like, yeah, we don't care.
Confusing, my fault.
Okay, Vaibhav, what's your move?
Initially, I thought rook to g1, but then you guys mentioned something about the knight, and I feel knight f2 is nice.
Knight f2, okay. Anirban?
Knight f2.
Knight.
And where does this knight go? Where is the
Ideally
Uh,
is
G-
d6.
Where?
G5.
I was thinking g6.
G6 here.
No, sorry, d6. I'm so sorry.
This?
Yeah.
Okay. So like this way, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Sopiko, Anirban got it right, yeah? Like he could feel the right square.
Yes.
So 1 point to him. And what about Vaibhav? He wants to go to d6.
Maybe if knight comes to c7, it also has a point to put pressure. Half a point.
Okay, half a point. And Biswa's move, -1?
Yes, I will take it.
No, but there's no rule for -1, so we'll give him 0. But okay. Queen f7, knight f2, knight f6 here was played by Sara. And as you can see, Sopiko goes ahead with her plan with knight to h3 because her opponent prevented knight e4. So she went from h3. And if she played h6, I think she would have got hit by g5, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because normally when there is g4 and f5 and f4, what black's ideal pawn position is to have on 7th rank on h7 and g7. Sometimes white even plays like at some point bishop g5 to provoke h6 and then bishop back to play g4 g5. So h6 would help only white.
It creates a hook, basically.
Yeah.
So here, black went knight to c7, and I think it was a prophylactic move because knight g5 would then be met. Knight e6 is the square is controlled. So now Sopiko played another move which completely boggled my mind. I mean, I couldn't understand why this move was played. So here's your next question, the 7th question here. What should white play here? And Sopiko, your hint.
Yeah. How it came to my mind, I don't know.
because it's like again, one sort of thinking was going on. You are improving your knight, and all of a sudden something else happened.
Yeah. So now the thing is that if we don't play anything, black somehow miscoordinated his pieces once again. Because it would be very nice to keep the knight on d5 and then another knight on c7, but now everything disturbs each other. Knight on c7 disturbs the a5 bishop, knight on f6 is under g5, and now we have time. The hint would be that we have time to improve our pieces, to improve our position. And it is again prophylactics. Just king is on h1. Don't move the king.
Gosh, there is no I. Oh man, there is no I. There is no I file. If there was an I file, I would have gone to
king I1. King, or maybe if there's a adjoining board, you can put the king on a1 of that board.
I can just put it out of the board.
But okay, I will give you a very, very clear hint because it is very difficult. But the clear hint would be that in this position, we would like to play queen out, let's say queen c2, and have our rook in the center, rook d1, or if bishop moves, rook e1. But then if we play queen c2, one of my piece is slightly loose. And I don't want that this piece is attacked with tempo. So now you have to find out, if I play queen c2, which piece is slightly loose and black has tempo on it.
Okay, very interesting. Biswa, you're muted.
And then what to do with that piece? Does it go forward, backward? Can you just tell me?
Can you just tell the move? What is the move? Okay, Biswa, here's a big hint for you. The move is not bishop takes c5.
I really, I'm not kidding. I've thought that line, and then I feel like it's so tempting to play this.
Yeah.
Now it makes so much sense.
What? That your bishop is so beautiful, you want to give it up for 2 pawns. Also, the thing is that his bishop gets activated from b6 later if you give this up. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense if I don't know the best defense from the game. It makes so much sense.
Okay, so time is up, guys. Let's start with Anirban this time. Anirban, what's your move?
Bishop f2.
Bishop f2. Okay. Vaibhav?
Yes, same. Bishop f2.
Bishop f2. Biswa?
Yeah, bishop f2.
Okay. Well, Sopiko, they reached halfway.
Oh man. Oh man.
Why it is going to g1 now?
They will be like, what kind of game it is? Like pieces are going backwards. What are you showing us?
That's what I'm saying. It is a game which can't be understood. So you have to tell us, what is bishop g1?
So bishop g1. Let's first of all say why it is better than bishop on f2, because bishop on f2, it closes once again the f file, though it would be very beautiful. Yeah, the f file is completely covered. So
for the best
bishop on
design.
g1 looks better. The thing with bishop g1 is that I wanted to give black time to see what was her plan to play either rook e8 or rook d8, because if I play queen c2, it's also very psychological because she was down on time here. And if I play queen c2, then you don't need to think and you play rook be8 right away. But when I play bishop g1, if rook e8, then you think twice. Do I need this rook on e8? Because then my d6 pawn is weak and I can play queen d1 with tempo, or a queen c2 and then rook d1 will be with tempo, and then the rook has to go back to d8. So rook e8 in this sense doesn't make much sense. But if I play rook d8 instead of rook e8, then, which was played in the game, then I can continue my plan and I sort of won half a tempo. Bishop on g1 is also nice because it protects everything. It opens the f file. Well, it keeps half open the f file. And we don't need the g1 square. We might need the f2 square for further regroupment, for knight f2, g5, knight g4, or knight e4. But g1 square we would not need.
Okay. Also, it's nicely tucked in. So, in the game, Sara played queen to e8. She played it here, and then Sopiko went ahead with her plan queen c2, king h8, and she struck here on the d6 pawn over here. And now rook d8 was played. And guys, if you find this move, the next move, Sopiko, what would they get? Because this move is seriously at another
It's crazy game. Now that I look at it, I'm like,
was it me that who
definitely
played
not my style. It's probably that, sleep is so important, and I'm a mother, and it's just made me more calm and less aggressive, more caring.
So
or more torturing.
Sopiko a few years ago here would have gone g5 and attacked like crazy, but and would probably lose this game. But here she was a picture of calmness, and she was preparing everything before the final onslaught. So your task is to still prepare a bit more. But prepare
Your
what,
task is
Sopiko?
to meditate. Just meditate. And the task is that if you think that it is black's move, which move black will make? Because black does not have nice moves. She doesn't have a plan. And playing this position, even 1 hour on, if she has 1 hour on clock, it's very, very difficult. So it's slightly evil plan, I would say, because it tortures black so much. But it's just take it easy. Yeah. Your pieces are great now.
All are well placed, yeah.
All are well placed. So if you think what black can have active play, maybe you think that, black can go maybe c4, bishop b6, bishop c5. And black did something to this position, like bishop on a5 is doing completely nothing. Maybe bishop b6, but bishop on g1. So it's definitely very, very difficult position. But c4 might give some space to black. And when you're in time trouble, c4 is the move to make.
Mm-hmm. I think you are very psychological in that sense. Yeah, do you do this always in your games, or is it this game's particular?
No, I was very calm at that moment, and I was like, okay, now my pieces are good. What does she want? If it was her move, what she would play? And I thought, what I would play? It sucks, this position, but I would probably play c4.
Okay, so black's idea is c4, and so.
It's not necessarily good, but if you're low on time, probably it's the move c4 or b4 is the move that comes to mind to give maybe knight b5. b4 is also an option to play knight b5 later. It gives up c4 square, but to do something, because black is kind of stuck.
Right. So, okay. And also one more hint to you guys is that after Sopiko made this move, Anish was very proud of her.
Yeah.
So, white to play. Let's begin with Biswa this time.
B3.
B3, okay. Anirban?
1 second.
Okay, Anirban still thinking. Vaibhav?
B3.
B3. And Anirban?
I want to go Queen B3.
Queen B3. Why?
Then when C4 comes, then I'll go to A3.
Interesting. Sopiko, what do you think? Two of you played Sopiko's move, so congratulations for B3. That is the right move in this position, stopping C4 and just prophylaxis. But what about Queen B3? It does make some sense, right?
It is definitely interesting option. Although if black doesn't go C4 and black goes bishop B6 right now, then black has a threat of C4. So queen on B3 looks like provocative a bit, but it has to go back after bishop B6.
Right.
So should we?
And this B3 is an incredible move. It's unless you gave the hints, there was no way any of us were even looking at it.
Yeah. So
I also have another move I want to ask though. Like, what if black wants to play? Like, do you think for black playing H5 makes any sense? Because if white takes on H5, then knight takes, and the bishop is exchanged, and all of a sudden there is some amount of play that black gets. And if black does not take and pushes, then the knight comes in to play.
Yeah, H5 definitely interesting to do something on the king side. However, if black plays H5, then it drastically weakens the G6 square, right? Because pawn is not on H7 anymore, and H5 just weakens the king. So what can white do is just H5, play G5, or even I would even think that G takes H5 is also fine for white, as after knight takes H5, I can even play knight G5, give the F4 pawn. But G5 for me looks much more interesting after H5. And when the knight moves, the H5 pawn is very weak. So even if we give the F5 pawn and we manage to put pressure on H5 pawn, it would be disaster for black.
Okay, so Queen B3, does that get a point, Sopiko?
It is such a position that it's not a blunder. So it is possible to play and it doesn't ruin the position. It does make black's life one move easier, let's say so. So let's give half points.
Okay.
Thank you.
What about rook f2 in this position?
Rook f2 is also a possibility to play rook e2, and that's very nice. However, our plan is just not to give black the obvious moves. Because after b3, black really doesn't have a move. If he moves the bishop on b6, then we can play rook e1. And then queen is in trouble.
Right.
Rook f2, rook e2 is also completely fine. And it's such a bad position for black that she cannot do anything about it. So rook f2 also good.
By the
Do
way,
you think in these positions you think about the f rook to come out of the f5 level, or do you think you want to keep it there, like when it's so stuck in the f5?
In this position, it's just if you don't do anything, black will ruin her position by himself because it does not have moves. Bishop should be on a5 to control e1 square. Queen cannot go to d7 because then the c5 pawn is hanging. Queen cannot go to f7 because then knight g5 is coming. So you can see that pieces don't have squares. There are a lot of pieces, but all of them are so badly coordinated.
True. By the way, Sopiko, you had to leave at this time But
yeah, I have 5 more minutes.
Fantastic.
and then I
Thank
will
you.
run.
Thank you. So that's why the next question, I really wanted you to be here because again, that is going to be not at all easy, guys. What Sara did is she moved her queen back to f7, and now is the time for your 9th point here. What do you play? And the smile on Sopiko's face says that it's an evil move coming up.
Yes, it's an evil move, but it has a point. It's not like completely prophylaxis. It is now the thing that we would have something very evil in mind, because we cannot forever wait, but we will have the final blow in the position, and that move would help us.
And also remember, guys, her opponent is under time pressure, and she's playing mind games with her. She's not just making the most, like knight g5 is the most obvious move, and that she expects that queen will move away. But she will make a move which opponent expects the least and puts the most pressure.
Bishop captures on c5. I really have every point that you say that now next move, I try that.
Now I am
so
also
exciting.
thinking about that.
It's like a virus. It's spreading. Bishop. It started from Biswa, went to Vaibhav. Now Anirban is thinking about it.
And it's going in different layers. Like I'm thinking like rook takes on d6, and then rook takes back, and then there is a pin of both rooks being on the same diagonal. And I don't know. It's so many things.
Yeah, but also it's quite possible to think that, but it's not the move.
Yeah, there are many good moves here, but the move I made had a very clear point that, for example, if we play here knight g5, then queen moves, and then black can play h6, and we don't really have, like, we didn't achieve much because we cannot go knight e6 and we cannot go rook e1. But if we play something here, imagine that knight is on g5 and you can somehow bother the bishop on a5.
Ooh, that is a hint.
Yeah, if you imagine in this exact position that you can bother the bishop, and because the queen is not on f7, does not defend the c7 knight, you can play something, bishop cannot move, then maybe we will get there.
Okay. Vaibhav's laugh tells me he's found the move. But let's see if he has. This is the position, guys. This is the position here. White to play. A lot of people in the chat also saying rook takes d6 looks enticing. But guys, that just loses
Rook.
rook. I mean, you'll get back at least one of them, but you'll lose a piece after bishop takes c5. Yeah. Oh yeah, also rook d2 is there. Okay, time's up, guys. What's your move? Okay, let's start with Vaibhav because he laughed. So
I don't have a3.
A3 Vaibhav. Okay, Anirban.
Maybe you misjudged it. Like I was maybe laughing at the move I thought.
G5.
G5. Anirban is going for the attack. Biswa.
I don't have a move.
Arey, one move. Say some move.
Bishop takes on
Move.
Bishop takes on c5.
Arey,
I can't.
No, half point for that.
Yes.
By the way, one of you gave the right move. Sopiko, over to you.
Can we give 2 points for that?
2 points, yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, Vaibhav gets 2 points for
Oh.
A3. That's the move. Because it was our move right now. After A3, we play knight G5, queen goes to G8, and then we play B4. Now it is very difficult for black because if C takes B4, then A takes B4, bishop takes B4, and C7 knight is hanging.
Wow. And this
A3?
square doesn't exist because this bishop covers it.
a3 also helps because if, for example, black wants to play queen e8 again or something, we can play b4 and then rook e1 and same, or b4, c takes b4, a takes b4. So basically a3 is just a very, very useful move in all contexts.
Wow. It's so amazing how you're using queenside pawn moves for a kingside attack.
Yeah, it is indeed a very nice game because white is playing on all sides. It's not only that we are focused on the king side to mate, but we are using black's miscoordination.
True. So, in this position, after a3, she went bishop b6, and now she jumped in, Sopiko jumped in, queen g8, and because the bishop moved away, she got the e-file, rook f e1, rook f e8, and now b4, turning on the pressure, not sacrificing the bishop here because now the pawn has come in, take on e1, rook takes, queen f8, queen went to a2. Now you can see how the knight and queen combined together. This is like deadly. And rook d7. And guys, final question to you of the game. Can you finish it off here? White to play and win the game.
Yes. And the hint would be to bother the rook.
Ooh, that...
But they have to see the whole combination.
Okay, guys, you have to calculate. That's the fun now. You need to bother the rook, but then you have to calculate, and you need to finish like Surya says many times. Yeah, finish off the chessboard.
Yeah. The thing is that it always should be like I play this, you play this. But then what happens? Because this is a very straightforward line. And it's possible to calculate.
I saw the happiness on Vaibhav and Biswa's face of seeing a smothered mate.
Yeah.
I could say, smothered mate the guy. But there is no smothered mate, guys. Be careful.
There is not.
Anirban was very calm.
Again, I'll have to calculate bishop captures on c5. What is this?
No.
Okay. Why isn't there a small?
The thing is that we have to think that we want to give knight f7 check. But now the rook is on d7. We cannot do it. Is there a way to be still able to give knight f7 check?
Yep. Guys, calculate, because here you need to finish off your opponent in style. You know, sometimes people see games of their opponent. Let's say if I have a match against Sopiko now coming up in there, so I would see her games to understand her style of how she plays. But if I see this game, I'll be like, no, I don't understand the style, because what is she going? Is she going to attack me? Is she going to play defense? Is she a positional player? It's not at all easy.
Unfortunately, there's only one such game.
And that's the game you chose.
Yes, to confuse all of you.
This has been the hardest game in terms of guessing.
But crazy game.
Yeah.
It's
lot of hints by Sopiko, which made it slightly possible.
Hints were taught like perfect.
Top hints.
Thank you. I think most important is that if you see this game again, now you will understand what happens. That's the goal.
True. I think when
Otherwise, if you just push, it's like, what? Why?
Time is up, guys. Time is up. Let's begin with this time Anirban. Anirban, what's your move?
Bishop c6.
Okay, bishop c6. Vaibhav?
Same.
Bishop c6. Biswa?
Bishop c6.
Not bishop c5?
No.
Wow.
That was good last move.
All three of you get a full point. This is what Sopiko played, but what if rook e7? I hope you saw
Rook takes.
this.
Rook takes.
Queen takes, yes, and now
Knight f7 check.
Mother.
yes,
No,
and
is it?
Knight h6 check.
okay, and here
Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
But a few days back.
Knight f7. You can still go back.
Knight f7 check.
And then
Then we agree to a draw.
all the hard work down the drain. Go back, and yes.
No. Oh man.
knight to maybe d8. Wait, d8 and there's a check and goes back and.
Guys, when you're getting something, grab it. Yeah, there's something hanging. Although it's not a big thing, but it's a something.
Yeah, d6. Okay.
Yes, she
so
took
d6 is hanging.
Yes.
And
knight
now,
d-
final move, the move that crowns this game. I mean, that gives you the full point. And Sopiko, one hint.
Finally, Miss Tactics is there.
Finally, the missed tactics arrives, and it's a fork, guys. Fork. Time for a fork.
Fork.
Oh, still
Double
not
attack.
c6.
Still, it's a tough move, yeah, because the game has been so difficult for them. But it's a fork. It's a one move fork, guys.
What?
What is going on?
Knight is
Okay.
hanging. Where does knight
Oh,
go?
okay. Knight to c8.
Absolutely right. Yes, and you fork the queen and the bishop, and you lose the piece. You know, Sopiko, they were all thinking after a3, b3 is the move h3 here. Should we play?
Yeah, that's probably true. I'm very sorry, but
Yes.
I have to really run.
Thank you for being here, Sopiko. You are 15 minutes late, but I hope Danny will be fine. Thank you.
Yeah. I will run now.
Thanks, Sopiko. Great game.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Guys, how was the game?
Game was great.
मजा आ गया.
Phew.
Very nice.
I
right?
have a feeling there are a few moves which, if she did not give a hint, like मतलब हवा ही नहीं लगती.
Yeah. Every time she was giving a hint, उसके बाद ही मैं अपना pencil उठा रहा था.
Yeah.
No, but in general, like to just go over the game very quickly, just the point was that here d5 is what I wanted you guys to know कि space लेना है, and very important here was to take back with the c pawn here because to keep this center intact. These two things in the opening phase.
Sagar, is it possible to go into the a3 wala position once? I
Yes,
had a question.
yes.
So here after a3, bishop went back. Pehle. Oh, in the combination that she said that we push b4 first, like b4 after, like a3,
A3, yes.
and then we're threatening to go b4 and. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I
Well,
got
you
confused, I
cannot
think.
cannot go b4 right away because after
Yeah.
takes, bishop takes, the queen is defending the knight, so you can't win.
Yeah.
it. So her
No, that's true.
plan was to go knight g5, move the queen away, and then enter there. But I think it was a game where it was very difficult to guess the moves. I mean, even her opponent would have found it very difficult to guess what she was doing every move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn nice.
Guys, if there are any questions related to this game, please let me know. And by the way, Biswa, your place has changed. You have come in the trainer section. So is there anything you want to train them?
Yes.
Yes.
Guys, it's always good in life to give. So give me your points. I'm training you in giving.
Oh yes, points. I forgot to add the points once again. 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5.
Vaibhav has killed it today, 7.5.
Full kill. That A3, dude, when you said I don't have a move and so A3, I had the same thing. I didn't have a move and A3, then I was like, कि, ये तो मतलब फिर मैं कुछ सोचा ही नहीं, फिर वैभव का मतलब just बोल दिया, इसलिए then I said something else.
Yeah, I also thought of copying, but then that move was so dubious. I was like, I'm not going to copy.
So I just went with like pawn push.
Whenever I suggest a move, I have no confidence in it because it's so possible that it turns out to be absolute bullshit.
But you should not have confidence in A3, I feel.
Actually, I mean, I saw what she said, but I didn't know that was such a strong thing.
Yeah.
I was like, it threatens a little bit, but doesn't really get anything out of it.
Yeah, it looks like a very dumb move.
Yeah, but playing with those two pawns in this game, where every attack is on the other side, is beautiful.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But this was not an attacking game, per se.
It was a very different kind of an attack where the threat was looming over. And actually, it's very similar to this famous quote of Nimzowitsch, which is, threat is stronger than execution. So whatever was the threat, she was not executing it. It was always lingering on. I mean, I remember this. I don't know if I have said this already in one of the Improving Chess, but I think it's good to remember for threat is stronger than execution that once Nimzowitsch was playing a game and his opponent took out a cigarette. You remember, yes, Vaibhav?
I remember Spassky took out a cigarette once.
That Fisher. Nahi.
I think Tal used to smoke when playing many times, but here it was like Nimzovich's opponent took out the cigarette and he kept it on his table and he made his move. So Nimzowitsch went to the arbiter and said, arbiter, look, my opponent has a cigarette. And the arbiter says like, but he's not smoking, yeah? So what should I do? He's just kept the cigarette. And Nimzowitsch says, don't you know threat is stronger than execution? So, that was the story that reminds of this. By the way, so today's score, Sopiko's session, Samay wasn't there. Biswa gets 4.5 today, which is a good score considering he wanted to play bishop c5 many times. Vaibhav gets 8 points. Vaibhav is on a roll. And Anirban gets 5.5. So...
कल मैं Vaibhav को काम दिलाता हूँ. Just tell me what is... what day next Monday no Vaibhav को मैं shoot दिलाता हूँ इधर बैठ के बर्बाद
उसको कुछ 25 दिन का shoot दिला.
We have a guest who is coming in. Maybe the day is not confirmed, but in the next week, which is any guesses? Very, very great player.
Vishy Anand.
No, he may join in after a few months because right now he's busy.
Is it who I think it is to show the game of chess?
Oh my god.
No.
Okay.
You guys have seen his game, so I cannot ask him to show that game if he ever comes. That game of King Walk from G1 to H6. Yes.
Do I remember the name clearly? Nigel Shot.
Right. Yes.
Nigel Shot.
Nigel Shot. So he has been a World Championship challenger in '93. Played with Kasparov. He is one of the legends of the game, and maybe he would join in the coming week. But I mean, I would have loved him to show the game of his King Walk from G1. You know this game, yes, which Vidit has shown.
Yeah.
That would have been 7 questions back to back.
But unfortunately, you know that game, so that wouldn't. But he would have many more great games. So yeah. That would be cool. And by the way, guys, today morning I had Dr. Chess and I met someone from Australia. His name was William. And he told me that he's a lawyer and he likes chess. And in last 1 week, he saw 100 sessions of Improving Chess. Like binge watched all 100 sessions. He sat and in 1 week. So he was watching like maybe 15-16 hours a day. And he had made the speed like 1.5x of that playback. And he saw it fully and he enjoyed it. So
amazing.
People are enjoying seeing this content. So thank you to all of you.
Thank you, Sagar Shah. It's a great pleasure.
Okay. So see you guys. And tomorrow is India versus Indonesia Asian Championship is going to take place. So please follow that, and it would be wonderful to see these games. And then it goes on. So we'll have our next session. Yes, I will stream.
Are you streaming the game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll have our next session now on Wednesday, I think, mostly. I will keep you updated because Monday also somehow is the tournament is going on.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Sagar.
Thank you so
Sagar.
much, guys. Thank you for being here. Bye, Anirban. Bye, Vaibhav. Biswa has left this. बिस्वा आज सब लोग चैट में एक ही चीज बोल रहे थे कि बिस्वा इज लुकिंग वेरी स्लीपी टुडे.
I'm not sleepy.
No?
No, I'm fine only.
Fresh.
Maybe I'm sleepy. I don't know. Actually, now that they say it, I feel sleepy. All right. Okay. Without Samay, this is not too much fun. I'll go. Bye-bye.
Yeah. See you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Guys, before all of you go, I hope you enjoyed it. There is a couple of super chats. I want to check it out. But I also want you guys to know that there is a tournament which ChessBase India is organizing, and it's called Roundtable Chess. This is the one. Let me just bring it up on my screen so that all of you can see it. Yes, that's there you go. So this is the tournament. It's on rti.chessbase.in. It's called Make Your Move Tournament Charity Fundraiser. So please try to be a part of this. It is a fantastic event. Make Your Move. It is sponsored by LP Savani Group of Schools, Hartech, Bikaji, Euromed. A lot of people have come together for this fundraiser. The prize fund is total 1 lakh rupees. It's for players below 2100 ELO. And if you finish in top 6, you get a chance to play a simul with Vishy Anand. All the format has been explained. All the money raised here will go to building of a school by Roundtable India. You see, they build schools all across the country, and they will do so here as well. So if you guys can register for this event and play, would be very nice, because so many nice people, nice players would take part in this, and you also get a chance to play Vishy Anand on 1st of November. The tournament is on 26th to 31st. It's sort of staggered. And the last date is 21st of October. So there are 5 more days. Please register for it. And yes, thank you, Nichu and Mayur, for putting in the links. Okay, guys. So that is all from me for now. A big thanks to Sopiko for joining in. She was amazing. She had so much work to do. She's making sure that Anish prepares well for the candidates. She has to take care of Danny. She's also preparing for courses, and she found time for this, which was simply amazing. And also hats off to the dedication of Vaibhav, Biswa and Anirban, who have been coming regularly. Even Samay was here yesterday to learn from Boris. He is extremely busy also right now, so he makes it a point to come from time to time. So thanks to all these comedians who have contributed immensely to the growth of chess knowledge in general by their presence and enthusiasm. And to all of you here who are there, thank you so much, all the viewers, for being there. By the way, I see a chat which says Samay will soon overtake ChessBase India subscribers. Yes, that's what I was looking at. He's soon going to overtake us. Guys, let's at least fight for few days that we can compete. I know that in the long run, maybe in a week, he's going to overtake. But I was thinking, if ChessBase India can reach 500,000 subscribers before Samay, that would be nice, because he will soon reach million and a lot more. The way he's working, the way his channel is growing is just tremendous. But I think right now, what is it? Let me just check. If I have to see, I think very close. Yeah, now he is on Samay Raina is on 465,000 subscribers for him. And what is Chessbase India at? I think 473 for us. Yeah, so 8,000 still we are more, but Samay gains roughly around 3,000-4,000 subscribers each day. So if Chessbase India can reach 500,000 subscribers before him, it's not going to be easy, but let's see. All those who haven't subscribed already, please do so. Would be nice. And no, don't unsubscribe, Samay. Come on, guys, don't do that. Yeah, it's just a fun joke. Don't do it. Absolutely not. He deserves all the subscribers. He should be reaching 1 million soon. For sure. Yeah, I guess in 2 months or so he will reach 1 million. But yeah, I will plan something when we reach 500,000. But as always with everything that we do at Chessbase India, it's always slow and steady. It's always consistent. We try to keep on moving step by step. So thank you all for being here and being such a part of this journey. And see you all. Yeah, take care. Bye. See you.